In our administration, we have a tremendous amount of billionaires who are successful businessmen, and I could name them all, but we know who they are, who have taken a leave, sold their companies, walked away from their lives to sacrifice to help America be great again. There are many, many.
While on Fox News yesterday, attorney and counselor to Donald Trump, Alina Habba, flexed on the amount of billionaires in Donald Trump's cabinet. Now, she seriously thinks that these billionaires will help save the country from democratic corruption. And there's more of that interview we'll show in a minute. But remember, Trump's entire campaign message was a pledge to fight for the forgotten man and woman. But here's a list of all of the billionaires in Trump's cabinet. Elon Musk, Department of Government Efficiency head, $439 billion in net worth. Leandro Rizzuto, ambassador to the Organization of American States, $3.5 billion. Warren Stevens, $3.4 billion. And it keeps going. Linda McMahon, potentially up to $3 billion. Howard Lutnick, $2.2 billion. Charles Kushner, $1.8 billion. Jared Isaacman, $1.8 billion. It doesn't stop there. Thomas Barack, $1 billion. Stephen Witkoff, $1 billion. Frank Bisignano, probably pronounced that wrong, but he has at least $1 billion in net worth. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, reported billionaire. Remains unclear, but he's up there. You know, while not billionaires per se, other notable names on that list include Kelly Loeffler, the administrator of the Small Business Administration, Doug Burgum, Interior Secretary, and of course, our beloved Dr. Oz, administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. All of these tremendously wealthy individuals now with their hands on the levers of power. But I think former Labor Secretary Robert Reich puts it best. It's hard to conceive how the wealthiest set of cabinet nominees and White House appointments in history will understand what average working people are going through. I think that's totally right. You know, Cenk, you've talked about Trump taking on the elites, but speaking to populist issues, but I think when you look at the list of names and just the first couple weeks, I don't have much hope that there will be meaningful populist change. Do you?
Well, so this is not a great start, that's for sure. Okay, so let's break it down a little bit. First, my favorite out of that list of billionaires was Jared Isaacman, NASA administrator. Why do we need a billionaire to run NASA? Like what? Shouldn't it be a scientist that runs NASA? So that's super weird to me. But the one that's scariest is Frank Bisignano, okay? He's the Social Security Administration Commissioner. I don't want a billionaire there. Billionaires don't want, they get like a nickel from Social Security, and meanwhile they think, oh, that's my taxes. Oh, you put in a billionaire Social Security only if you want to cut Social Security. So like that just makes no sense. I hate that. So now, look, guys, proof's always in the pudding. So like our question in the live chat is, do you want any billionaire in the government? Well, and I might say maybe to that question. I don't know if maybe is an answer. It would depend. It would depend on who it is. And so, but all these billionaires, and you're the populist, and all these billionaires are going to do populist programs, and they're not going to do programs that help their bottom line? Less likely, way less likely. Then Alina Habba with they walked away from what? Literally none of them walked away from their businesses or their money. In fact, Elon Musk has been cutting a lot of things. Did he cut any subsidies to any of his own companies? Weird that he didn't. And you want to know the number one motivating factor for all of these billionaires inside this government? Tax cuts. And by the way, deregulation, including of their own businesses. I'm so glad these smart billionaires are in there to help themselves. I mean, I'm sure help the American people, but proof's always in the pudding. So let's see what they do.
Yeah, like a while ago, we asked the audience a question: do you think that this guy's gonna get in there and help everyone, or is he gonna rob the place blind? And he's gonna rob the place blind. That's it. And like, here's one billionaire who didn't lead, like explicitly didn't do what every other president had done, just put all his assets into a blind trust. There's a billionaire running the government. It's Donald Trump, and he should have said, listen, I need to operate agnostic of what it will do to me monetarily, but this guy violates the Hatch Act any given Sunday, and there's no consequences for it. It's frustrating. Also, like how we have a NASA administrator for a billionaire, and how is it not Elon Musk? We're gonna put him in charge of Doge. It's just very frustrating. And the thing that always gets me is a lot of these billionaires are billionaires because of the tax cuts we give them, because of the government grants we give them. We are investors in their company. We see no return on that investment, and we absolutely should. It's absolutely high time. It's very frustrating.
Well, I'm glad you brought up, Cenk, Elon's contracts and subsidies, because we have more on that. So going back to this conversation between Habba and Hannity, all of this came about because they were playing the world's tiniest violin for Elon Musk. Take a look.
Obviously, if you're friends with Donald Trump, you're going to be hated. All right, so we'll check that box on the Elon Musk side. But correct me if I'm wrong, isn't he the guy that offered Starlink when people in North Carolina had no communication with the outside world, and he donated that? Didn't he offer the same thing to the people of California? Yeah. Don't we have 2 astronauts that have been pretty much lost in space or abandoned now for nearly 300 days, and our government can't save them, so he's going to go rescue them? You know, and he's cutting out all of this
Sean.
waste. Well, why would you hate somebody like that?
It's so
I'm
basic.
grateful.
You know what? It's very basic. Let's think about this. In our administration, we have a tremendous amount of billionaires who are successful businessmen. Now, Elon's become a target for one very simple reason, because he is cutting the funding to these politicians who have put their bureaucratic, personal financial gain and interest above the American people.
Yeah, Elon's not doing anything for self-gain, right? The Campaign Legal Center laid out Musk's ties with the government in an article published earlier this month. The scope of what Elon Musk stands to gain from directing agency reconstruction cannot be fully stated. Musk and the federal government are already deeply intertwined. His companies Tesla and SpaceX account for at least $15.4 billion in government contracts over the past decade and span multiple agencies, and his decisions as Doge head have already shown a conflict of interest with his own business and financial interests. Do you remember this? Mario Nawfal says, should the treasury be put on the blockchain so this doesn't happen in regards to some treasury actions? And Elon says, yes, in his replies. So Elon reportedly has large stakes in multiple cryptocurrencies, so he stands to benefit if blockchain technology is implemented throughout the government. And because Doge is so new, its authority and access to government information are still a gray zone, but we're already getting reports that they're violating people's privacy. They're violating confidential records, and today I saw they accidentally, maybe, put classified information on the Doge website. But still, Musk could potentially have access to information that could influence his business decision making, such as access to the federal payment system, which contains details of public contractors who compete directly with Musk's own businesses. According to the Financial Times, Musk's 6 businesses, which he has not sold, going back to Cenk's point earlier, already profit nearly $20 billion through government contracts and subsidies. It seems so obvious, Cenk, but still, here we are. People are celebrating him, defending him, and pretending like he's looking out for us as he just runs wild through the government.
Yeah, there's 2 aspects of this. First of all, like this hero worship of billionaires, it's the least populist thing in the world. So if you're doing that, don't tell me you're a populist. So, and I'll give you an example. I always do shoe on the other foot, right? Like give you an example from the Democratic side. Michael Bloomberg, massive billionaire, actually gives money to a lot of super good causes for us on the left, right? Gun control, civil rights groups, etc. He's done some great work. Would I say, oh, let Michael Bloomberg run the entire government and cut whatever he likes, but keep subsidies to himself? Hell no, hell no. Give him access to the treasury and all of our data? Hell no. I would like, oh, let's just trust our billionaire. I'm sure our billionaires are the good guys. Absurd, totally absurd, and not 1% populist. So, and is Elon this amazing guy who gives, look, the Starlink thing where he did provide it for Ukraine and North Carolina, etc. God bless, God bless. I'm not hating on that. That wasn't that bad. But let's be honest, it's really small, tiny in the context of his gigantic companies. If Elon wanted to do something positive, he could literally cure poverty with about 0.5%, like 0.5%. I don't know the exact numbers. In fact, one day on the show, we'll get you the exact numbers. But with a comically low percentage of his wealth, he could cure all of poverty, not in America, in the whole world. And I know it sounds like, no, really? Yes, really. And he's choosing not to do that. Why? Because he's a saint, but he just forgot? Like, I can give you a dozen other examples. Elon could get all of the lead out from the water in America, from all the terrible pipes. Instead, what did they do? He cut the government program that gets the lead out of the water, that poisons our kids. This is not like some sort of angel who's like doing this on your behalf, and he doesn't care at all. He cares deeply. And that leads me to Mario's tweet. I kind of like Mario. I've been on his show a bunch of times. He's a good guy in person. But that doesn't mean I can't disagree with him. The treasury should be put on blockchain? Are you mental? Like, that's crazy. No way. All you crypto guys said, oh, we don't need no stinking government. Now you want to have the treasury taken over by blockchain? No, zero. Look, man, I'll rush the Capitol. Like, no, you are not going to take all of our taxpayer money and put it on your stupid blockchain, okay? No, blockchain's great. Great, brother, then you do it. But don't take my money and risk it on your BS. And who has tons and tons and tons and tons of money in crypto? All right, Elon Musk. Oh, wow, look at that. He says enthusiastically, yes, let's put it on blockchain. Elon, I'm telling you right, as my son says, he's on fraud watch, okay? So what I mean by that is not like, oh my God, I thought maybe he was a great guy, but maybe he's not. No. Believe me. I don't know if you could tell from this segment, let alone 200 other segments that I did. But what I mean by that is, there's something, those companies, he's like Trump, he's weirdly desperate for money. Why is the richest man in the world constantly like, let's do a Doge thing, and then I make money by scamming little guys, and then I pump and dump, and let's put it on blockchain. What? You're the richest man in the world, you're $439 billion. There's something up with him. There's something not right with him being the richest guy. I don't know what it is, to be fair. And I'm sure, and he constantly suing and attacking anyone who criticizes him. What happened to free speech? What happened to free speech absolutists? Oh, you offended me, just like Trump and Elon. You offended me. Oh, I'm gonna use my wealth to crush you. Oh, wow, you seem like such a free speech absolutist. And you give me so much confidence that you're doing this on behalf of the American people. No, you give me no confidence on that. And so, look, I don't mind his government contracts that Jordan talked about, the 15 billion, et cetera. I do mind the subsidies. If you're the richest man in the world, why are you taking money out of my pocket and all of our viewers' pockets to subsidize your business? Don't tell me, oh, he's such a great genius. That's why he made all of this money, and he's the richest man and the greatest man in the world. That's why you should give your taxes to him? No, you don't get it both ways. No way. If you're the greatest businessman of all time, then go ahead and take a giant long walk off a short dock when you ask the average American who's busting his ass for his tax money. No, you should get zero in subsidies. Why don't you cut your own subsidies first? Oh, look at that. He cut AIDS treatment to children in Africa, but he didn't cut his own subsidies.
Right, and they say the poor people are the ones who take a bunch of government money and then have a bunch of kids that we have to deal with. And meanwhile, Elon Musk takes billions of dollars from us, and we have to watch his kid pick his nose on the Resolute desk. Like it's so serious. Whether you like Elon Musk or not, you gotta admit it's pretty hilarious that he's not well liked. Like the guy makes rockets that go to space and get caught on chopsticks. Like he should be revered like Iron Man, but he knows why he is not liked whatsoever. And just a really quick thing about the billionaires. Like I know there's someone who worked for a company that had a lot of money in Silicon Valley, and then they had their board meeting, and she was able to go and listen. And she said there was an argument between two super duper rich investors, and one was like, "What are we talking about these little pennies?" And the other guy was like, "Every time I see a penny, I pick it up." And that was the richer guy. The richer guy just had it in him. He's like, "I will always make money." It's not. I said this on Damage Report. It's not like being a billionaire in that way is not like being an athlete where your body just gets too old and you can't do it anymore. They will always be thinking this way. And there's just the decoder ring. Every time they say that there's government efficiency somewhere and they want to cut it, it's not to save you money. It's to take it out of the government's hands so they can privatize it and they can make money. Case in point, the healthcare system. Like, we have a privatized healthcare system that performs worse but makes people like them super duper rich. We have a public version of it called Medicare. They hate that that exists. They hate that people want to make it like Medicare. So they're trying to kick up a bunch of dust to get you to be like, yeah, hand me over Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all this stuff that people like that is like basically a break even or a money loser for the government. I want to make money off it, and it's not gonna be better for you. It's gonna be better for all the people that Alina Habba is saying is like, oh, goodness of their heart. They wanted to work with Donald Trump. Meanwhile, they are who they thought they were. They're telling you every single day. And you need to look no further than like the first thing they did. These guys are like, maybe we should put the treasury on blockchain. The first thing blockchainy they could do was a pump and dump Trump crypto scheme. They already told us. Everything they promised us that sounded vague, you published on the way to the White House, they were just trying to F, dude. They were just hitting on you and saying anything at the bar at 1 a.m. to get you to F, and you let them F you, but it wasn't in the right hole. Thank you, you can go to break.
Okay. All right, now I'm gonna add one thing, even though we should definitely go to break after that. Look, guys, if you show me corruption, I hate corruption. I'd be super psyched that they took it out. And you know me, I'd give them all the credit in the world if they take out corruption. So far, they're like, oh, we found $50 million worth of condoms in Gaza. And then they're like, oh yeah, we didn't. And that's all the corruption. Oh, it's so bad, it's so bad. And oh, do you know there's a DEI program in Serbia that we give like $7 to? Wow, what a big corruption. So let's turn the treasury into blockchain. No, then you're not looking for corruption, you're looking to rob, you are the corruption. So under no circumstances should we allow any BS crypto garbage anywhere near the treasury. So crypto guys, all get in your emotions now and get your fifis up. No, it's the greatest. You said you didn't want any stinking government. Were you all lying? Why do you want the government now to back up your BS meme coins and other garbage? No way, hell no. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.